This week in the hands-on portion of the class, we'll be exploring ArcGIS Online a little bit, just to get you familiar with it so that you're able to start working with it over the next couple of weeks. And I am assuming that you have already started your account. If you have any problems with that, we can address those in class. When you log on, this is the dashboard page that you'll come to. And a lot of the information here we really don't need. We don't need to look at the home or the gallery. What we're really interested is in the map tab and in the content tab, and to some extent the group tab as well. The scene tab is for making 3D maps, and I doubt that anyone will do that this semester, but who knows, maybe someone will find some application for that, and we can address it if we need to. Let's first take a look at actually the content. The content is essentially where you put your folders and what sort of information goes into those folders as well. So this is my content, and you can see over here that I have a folder for Geography 390A, for Geography 101, and these are various projects that I've done either on my own or with the GIS class that I teach as well. This content page is what you are going to be using the most right here with respect to the content tab. Under the groups tab, you should have access once you've logged on, and I've had the opportunity to add you to the Geography 390A group. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to use this space for sharing the things that we've created over the course of the semester so we can look at them and talk about them. We'll see how that goes. I've never used a group before, so it's a bit experimental to me. What you are really going to be using the most is the map tab right here. And this is where you will actually be creating your maps. I'm going to not create a map quite yet, but instead I'm going to go back to the contents because I want to talk a little bit about the types of information that are found in the content. So here I've gone back to the content information, and you'll see that the same sorts of things appear again and again that you'll be using. You'll be using web maps, which are here. If I go into Geography 101, you'll also see story maps. You'll be creating those at the end of the semester. Sometimes you'll be turning your web maps into apps, either instant apps or ones that you build. We'll talk a little bit about that and go back to all of my content. You'll also see that there's information called feature layer information. That's information that you are going to be using regularly. You'll also be using tabular information too. That will come a bit later in the course. There are other types of layers that you might end up using as well, all of which are here in one form or another, but for the time being, we don't really have to look at those. So let's go back then to the mapping page and talk about some of the easiest ways to build a map and to do some basic editing to the map. So the easiest way to make a map when you are first in ArcGIS Online is just to add layers from someone else's content. So I'm going to click Add right here, and I'm going to go then to Browse Layers. And once I've gone to Browse Layers, I could theoretically add my own content right here, but I'm not going to. You can either go to something called the Living Atlas, or you can go to ArcGIS Online, which has a lot of information that you can theoretically browse. Now, sometimes you have to dig through a lot of stuff in ArcGIS Online to find it, but usually if you are able to make your search pretty straightforward and direct, you'll be able to find what you want. So I'm going to look for fertility levels, and I'm going to make sure to put in the term global there as well. And you'll see that it comes up with something called the global total fertility rate, which is something I actually use in demography a bit. This has been created by Esri Education, so I know what the source is. Sometimes these sources will be created by people you don't really know exactly what they are. But I'm going to go ahead and click on that layer right there. It will tell me a little bit about it. And then I'm going to go to Add to the map. And then what will happen is all this information will be added. We can actually close the browse layer, but turn the layer on, and you'll see that it's located right here, that global total fertility rate. I'm having problems with that. We can move around here and take a look at things. We can add other layers if we want to. But I'm not going to do a lot of editing right now. I just sort of want to show you the basic stuff. You can click the legend and show what the legend is over here. You can also go over to the properties over here and you can change parts of it. Sometimes you'll be able to change the symbology, but not always will you be able to. In this case, we're able to change that symbology, so I can edit that layer style. And if I want to, I can change it to all sorts of different types of styles. I'm actually going to just show you how you can change it to change the color a little bit. So I'm going to edit this symbol style right here and choose another color, and I'll sort of give it a purplish color, and then we can see, you can easily change things. Given the data set that you have, not all data sets will be quite so easy to change. There'll be lots of other stuff that you're going to be doing with styling later on, but this is just sort of the basic stuff that you can do right now. Now you have to make sure that you save whatever you create. And so make sure you go to Save As and save it to your content. I'm not going to save this one because I already have it. But once you do save it, then you'll be able to share a link to it. You would also be able to put it in your story map, and you'd also be able to create a rapid app or an instant app that you would be able to plug into a website or send someone a link to. Which we'll probably have a little bit of time to go into in class as well, but you have to have saved before you're able to do that. So what I'd like you to do this week, and we'll be doing this in class, so you don't have to do it before if you don't want to, is get into ArcGIS Online, start getting used to it, start finding what some good sources of information to make maps are, both using ArcGIS Online and also the Living Atlas material as well, which we'll talk about in class. So that's all for now. In class, we'll talk all about this.